The Indian subcontinent is no stranger to conflict. For decades it has been a region marked by political, social and military upheavals. At the heart of this turmoil lies the complex and often volatile relationship between India and Pakistan. These two nuclear-armed neighbors share a history marred by violence, deep-seated mistrust and a series of confrontations. The partition of British India in 1947 created two independent nations, India and Pakistan. However, it also sowed the seeds of enduring conflict as millions were displaced and communal violence erupted. The disputed territory of Kashmir became a major flashpoint, with both nations claiming it in its entirety. Since then, India and Pakistan have fought three major wars, each leaving a trail of devastation and loss. The threat of conflict continues to cast a long shadow over the region, affecting millions of lives. The legacy of partition continues to haunt both nations, with memories of violence and displacement still fresh. Millions of people were displaced during the tumultuous period, creating a humanitarian crisis of unprecedented scale. The memories of violence and displacement still fuel tensions, making reconciliation a challenging prospect. The unresolved issue of Kashmir remains a major obstacle to peace, with both sides unwilling to compromise. Both India and Pakistan claim the region in its entirety, leading to frequent skirmishes and military standoffs. This territorial dispute has led to numerous military confrontations, each escalating the animosity between the two nations. It has also fueled a climate of mistrust and suspicion, making diplomatic efforts fraught with difficulty. The two countries have developed into bitter rivals, with their competition extending beyond the battlefield. Their rivalry has extended beyond the battlefield, affecting political, economic and social spheres. It encompasses political, economic and social spheres, influencing every aspect of life in both countries. The path to peace will be long and arduous, requiring sustained efforts and mutual understanding. Tensions between India and Pakistan have escalated dramatically in recent weeks, reaching a boiling point that has the entire region on edge. The latest crisis began with a deadly terror attack in Pahalgam, India on May 10, 2025, which left dozens dead and many more injured. The attack, which targeted a popular tourist destination, sent shockwaves through India, causing widespread fear and outrage among the public. India was quick to blame Pakistan for the attack, pointing fingers at its neighbor for allegedly supporting the perpetrators. It accused Pakistan of harboring and supporting terrorist groups, a claim that has only added fuel to the already raging fire. Pakistan denied any involvement and called for a joint investigation, insisting that it too is a victim of terrorism. India's response to the Pahalgam attack was swift and decisive, with the government taking immediate action to secure its borders and ramp up security measures. On May 2, 2025, India announced a complete ban on all imports from Pakistan, a move that has significant economic implications. This move was widely seen as an attempt to cripple Pakistan's economy, which relies heavily on trade with India. Pakistan condemned the import ban as an act of economic aggression, arguing that it would hurt ordinary citizens the most. It vowed to challenge the ban at international forums, seeking support from the global community to pressure India into lifting the restrictions. The Pahalgam attack and the subsequent import ban have created a dangerous new dynamic, one that threatens to destabilize the entire region. The risk of miscalculation and escalation is high, with both nations now on a hair-trigger alert. Both countries have placed their militaries on high alert, ready to respond to any perceived threat at a moment's notice. The coming days and weeks will be crucial in determining whether India and Pakistan can step back from the brink, or if they will plunge into a deeper conflict. The India-Pakistan conflict is made even more dangerous by the fact that both countries possess nuclear weapons. This sobering reality adds a terrifying dimension to their rivalry. In recent years, both sides have engaged in a dangerous arms race. They have modernized their militaries and expanded their nuclear arsenals. This military buildup has heightened the risk of a catastrophic conflict. India, with its larger economy and military, has been steadily expanding its capabilities. Pakistan, facing a numerically superior adversary, has focused on asymmetric warfare capabilities. The risk of a conventional conflict escalating into a nuclear exchange is a terrifying prospect. Both countries have adopted a doctrine of no first use of nuclear weapons. However, the volatile nature of their relationship and the potential for miscalculation cannot be ignored. The international community has a vital role to play in mitigating the risks of a nuclear conflict in South Asia. Diplomacy, dialogue, and confidence-building measures are essential to prevent an arms race. The escalating tensions between India and Pakistan are not just a regional concern, they have the potential to disrupt the global economy. The two countries are major players in South Asia. Their conflict could have far-reaching economic consequences. Trade disruptions, market volatility, and uncertainty are just some of the risks posed by the ongoing crisis. India's recent ban on imports from Pakistan is a case in point. While bilateral trade has been limited, the ban will still have an impact. The conflict also threatens to disrupt global trade routes. The Arabian Sea, which borders both India and Pakistan, is a vital waterway for international shipping. Any conflict in the region could disrupt oil supplies and other essential commodities. The international community has a vested interest in promoting peace and stability in South Asia. Section 5. America's Role Balancing Act between India and Pakistan. The United States faces a delicate balancing act in the India-Pakistan conflict. This is a region fraught with historical tensions and complex geopolitical dynamics. It has strategic interests in both countries, making its role even more challenging. The U.S. must navigate these waters carefully to maintain its influence and promote stability. The U.S. has cultivated closer ties with India in recent years, recognizing its potential as a major global player. It sees India as a key partner in its Indo-Pacific strategy, which aims to counterbalance China's growing influence in the region. India is a rising economic and military power, with a rapidly growing economy and a significant military presence. However, the U.S. cannot afford to alienate Pakistan, a country with which it has had a long and complicated relationship. Pakistan is a nuclear-armed nation with a history of instability, making it a critical player in regional security. It remains a critical player in the fight against terrorism, with its strategic location and military capabilities. The U.S. needs Pakistan's cooperation to stabilize Afghanistan and counter the Taliban, a task that requires delicate diplomacy. The U.S. has called for restraint and dialogue between India and Pakistan, urging both nations to seek peaceful solutions. It has urged both sides to de-escalate tensions and resume talks, emphasizing the importance of diplomacy over conflict. The U.S. needs to find a way to balance its interests in both countries, a task that requires careful and strategic planning. It must avoid being seen as taking sides, as this could further complicate an already volatile situation. The U.S. should use its diplomatic leverage to facilitate a dialogue between India and Pakistan, promoting mutual understanding and cooperation. The U.S. has a responsibility to play a constructive role in promoting peace and stability in the region, ensuring that its actions contribute to a more secure and prosperous future for all involved. Section 6. China's stance, strategic ally and potential mediator. China's role in the India-Pakistan conflict is complex and multifaceted. China has a long-standing strategic partnership with Pakistan. It is Pakistan's largest trading partner and a major arms supplier. China has invested heavily in infrastructure projects in Pakistan. However, China also has a growing economic relationship with India. It is in China's interest to maintain stability in the region. Conflict between India and Pakistan could jeopardize China's economic interests. China's actions in the coming months and years will be closely watched by the international community. Section 7. The Kashmir Conundrum, a historical flashpoint. At the heart of the India-Pakistan conflict lies the disputed territory of Kashmir. This Himalayan region has been a flashpoint between the two countries since their independence in 1947. Both India and Pakistan claim Kashmir in its entirety. The people of Kashmir have borne the brunt of this conflict. They have endured decades of violence, human rights abuses, and political instability. The situation in Kashmir is complex and there are no easy solutions. However, it is clear that a lasting solution must involve addressing the aspirations of the Kashmiri people. A negotiated settlement that respects the rights and aspirations of all stakeholders is the only way to achieve lasting peace in Kashmir. Section 8. The Path Forward, Diplomacy, Dialogue, and De-escalation. The recent escalation of tensions between India and Pakistan is a stark reminder of the volatility of their relationship. The two nuclear-armed neighbors have a long history of conflict. Their rivalry has the potential to escalate quickly. This could have devastating consequences for the region and the world. The path forward requires a commitment to diplomacy, dialogue, and de-escalation. Both sides must refrain from actions that could further inflame tensions. The international community has a crucial role to play in facilitating dialogue between India and Pakistan. The United States, as a major power with close ties to both countries, has a particular responsibility to act. China, as Pakistan's closest ally, can also play a constructive role. The United Nations and other multilateral organizations can provide a platform for dialogue and confidence-building measures. The future of South Asia, and indeed the world, may depend on it. Section 9. Conclusion: Global stakes in a regional conflict. The India-Pakistan conflict is not just a regional issue, it is a global concern. The two countries are nuclear-armed powers. Their rivalry has the potential to escalate into a wider conflict. The international community cannot afford to ignore the risks posed by this conflict. The world must act now to prevent such a catastrophe